Hi Tigers, I'm back to tell you about what we're going to do for our English Language Arts today. We are going to be making a story map. So a story map is something that a reader might use to help them retell a story. So you're going to get to pick whether you want to retell Disney's Cinderella or the Korean Cinderella. So whatever you're most comfortable doing, okay? You can always go back and watch. The YouTube videos are still there if you go onto my channel, or if you just go back in Google Classroom, just scroll back till you get to yesterday or Monday's work, and you'll see both are still up there, okay? So if you want to listen to one of the stories again. But I'm going to show you how to do that. So over here, I made a story map. Whoops, that's the window. And here's the story map. Let me see if I can put it like that. There you go. So all I did to make this was I labeled the top story map, and then these are the things you're going to need for your story map. You're going to need to have a spot where you can write and or draw characters, the setting, the problem, the solution, and choose a fairy tale element. Tell me one of the elements that you saw. The center bubble is where we're going to write the title. So I'm going to do the Korean Cinderella just because I think it's probably a little more difficult. Don't think if you use my video to help you make your story map, you're not cheating, okay? Like Mrs. Bruin says a lot of times, I'm kind of guiding you through this in hopes that the next time we do it, maybe you'll be a little more independent. You don't have to do this on your computer or laptop. Today, you can just get a piece of paper, boys and girls, and make it. If you want to send me a picture of it, that's great. You don't have to, though, okay? All right, so for your story map, we're going to start by putting in the center the Korean. Remember, we're going to make uppercase letters for the beginning of each word. Cinderella. And now I'm going to write the characters' names. Now, the characters had what we would call names that were native to Korea, okay? They would be really hard for you to spell, hard to remember what they were. So we're going to kind of take that piece out. The only name you really have to have is Pear Blossom. Okay, so Pear Blossom was like the Cinderella character. And the other characters were the stepmother. She only had one stepsister, right? So she didn't have two like our version of Cinderella. And she didn't have a fairy godmother, but she had like a magic frog, ox, sparrows, right? They all helped her. And then the nobleman. Now, obviously, she had a dad. You can include the dad, but the dad wasn't really in the book that much. So he's kind of like a minor character. These would be the most important ones. The setting. Okay, so this story took place in the country of Korea, and it was in a village. Okay, it was in a village. Let's go over here to the problem. So what's the problem in the Cinderella stories? Well, basically the problem is that the Cinderella character is the good character, right? And she's treated very badly, even though she's a nice person. Okay, so that's the biggest problem in the story, is that she doesn't really have any joy in her life because she's mistreated so badly by her stepmother and stepsister. So I'm going to write that down, that Pear Blossom is treated badly by stepmother and stepsister. Okay? And then the solution was, who rescues her essentially, right? When she's going to the festival, the nobleman falls in love and marries Pear Blossom, and they live happily ever after, don't they? Now, what's a fairy tale element? So think back to what we've been talking about. What's something that makes this a fairy tale? Well, one of the things I think that stands out the most is the magic. How she asks for help. She's so upset with the different jobs that her stepmother's given her. And magically these animals appear out of nowhere, right? And they help her. There was one other thing that was a little bit of magic, maybe we can say, that was similar to the glass slipper in Cinderella, which was her red slipper. Remember, her red slipper fell off in the water, and he asked his people to go get it, and then that's again how he found her, which makes it a lot like the American version of Cinderella. Okay, so boys and girls, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this on your own today. Okay, and again, I'd love to see a picture when you're done, if you're able to do that. If you know, I know this is hard. I know your parents are busy. A lot of them are working from home too. If it's not possible for you to send me a picture, don't worry about it. I'm going to just trust that everybody's doing their work, right? All right, I think that's it. And do a great job on it, okay? Bye-bye.